Welcome to Hidden Horizons, a channel where we delve into the world's forgotten and overlooked stories, bringing hidden chapters of history to light. Here, every tale is told with calm narration and a reflective spirit, perfect for anyone curious about the mysteries beneath our feet. If you enjoy these revealing journeys, remember to like and subscribe to support more fascinating explorations in the future. In this video, we journey deep into the Amazon rainforest, exploring evidence that ancient, complex societies once shaped its endless green. Long before European explorers arrived, vast civilizations may have thrived within the forest's embrace. Together, we'll uncover how their influence echoes in the landscape today, and what this means for our understanding of human history. Chapter 1. The Veil of Green. Dawn breaks gently over the Amazon, spilling soft golden light across a sea of green. Mist weaves around ancient trees, cloaking the forest in a dreamy hush. The morning air is cool and damp, each leaf trembling with dew. Here in the heart of the world's largest rainforest, silence feels like a language, an invitation for secrets to be discovered among tangled roots and towering canopies. The Amazon is immense, a living, breathing labyrinth that seems untouched by time. From above, it stretches endlessly, with veils of fog hiding what lies beneath the treetops. Travellers have always found it daunting a place where sunlight struggles to reach the earth. Shadows wander between moss-laden branches, every sound muffled beneath the thick green ceiling. It feels both dreamy and mysterious. For centuries, the jungle guarded its mysteries. Early explorers returned with tales of fierce wildlife, impassable swamps, and rivers winding through infinite green. Myths grew from these shadow stories of lost cities covered in vines, whole worlds buried beneath the foliage. Listeners were told only spirits and whispers moved freely here, that humanity could never truly belong to such a wild expanse. But the deeper one ventures into the rainforest, the more the boundaries of reality and myth begin to blur. Sunbeams break through the canopy in slender shafts, illuminating secret paths and peculiar shapes below. Sometimes the rustle of leaves hints at something more, a presence that isn't animal nor wind. The jungle feels alive with enigmatic promise, keeping watch over its ancient past. With each step beneath the towering trees, time seems to dissolve. Roots twist and writhe across the path like sleepy serpents, embracing fragments of crumbled stone and forgotten earthworks. The calls of birds echo in the distance, while unseen insects hum with the rhythm of the forest. It's easy to imagine that every inch of this place holds a story, waiting patiently to be told. As sunlight shimmers through jagged openings in the leaves, the forest shrouds travellers in a mysterious twilight. Ferns and wild orchids soften the undergrowth, lending beauty to a landscape that is both forbidding and inviting. In these quiet moments, the mind wanders, wondering if the ancestors who walked here once left more than fleeting footprints. Perhaps an entire hidden world slumbers beneath these trees. Legends of the Amazon tell of lost roads paved with mysterious stones, spiraling earth mounds, and circles of dark soil left behind by vanished builders. Indigenous stories speak of sophisticated peoples who tamed and shaped the wild long before outside eyes arrived. Yet, for ages, these stories seemed like dreams, wisps of hope, in a place where the jungle swallows evidence quickly and thoroughly. Now, as researchers peel back the forest's layers, questions stir the modern imagination. Could the Amazon's thick green veil have concealed the rise and fall of entire civilizations? Might humanity's story here be far older and more wondrous than we ever thought? In the hush of dawn, as fog drifts lazily through the understory, our search for answers quietly begins. Chapter 2. Whispers Beneath the Canopy. For early European explorers, the Amazon rainforest seemed an endless, impenetrable green sea. When they pushed deeper beneath the soaring canopy, they found what appeared to be wild chaos vines curling over toppled trees, shadows flickering with hidden life. The explorers called it a counterfeit paradise, believing civilization could never take root here. Their journals record skepticism and awe. Yet, as these explorers ventured farther, tiny clues unsettled their certainty. The ground sometimes revealed gentle rises and unusual clearings where sunlight reached the forest floor. Indigenous guides spoke of ancient legends of cities lost to roots and time, of builders whose hands shaped the land before. But explorers dismissed such stories, convinced that only nature's law could rule this tangled green world, not human legacy or order. The air grew heavy with secrets in these depths. Every step under the trees stirred the echoes of something forgotten. Shadows seemed to dance around remnants. The trace of a mound, a faint outline of ditches, stones placed with intention. For indigenous communities, these were silent witnesses to those who came before. But to the newcomers, they were oddities, obscured by a forest that rarely yielded its truths easily. As dawn mist curled through the branches, explorers wrestled with the uncanny sense they overlooked something profound. Ancient myths, whispered in low voices around smoky campfires, hinted at bustling villages, ceremonial sites, hidden pathways swallowed by vines. The forest canopy, thick and vibrant, sheltered the last hints of this lost world, veiled behind drapes of green, protected from the harsh gaze of intrusive strangers. Early maps of the Amazon, drawn with shaky hands and hope, rarely marked anything but rivers and hazards. Legends of stone rings and raised roads were dismissed as products of heat, exhaustion, and the human imagination. Still, as they rode deeper into the unknown, some explorers caught glimpses of earthworks in the undergrowth low walls and causeways, carefully shaped embankments, visions at the edge of belief. Indigenous storytellers spoke of an older Amazon, where the land itself was transformed to feed thousands. Their words described soils black as night, rich with ancient Terra preta, the dark earth crafted by human hands. But for centuries, European minds struggled to accept such mastery over nature. To them, the mighty rainforest was uncivilized, a realm too wild ever to have been tamed or settled by people. Yet the whispers persisted. Faint traces of pottery appeared beneath tangled roots, shards coloured with faded pigments. Explorers sometimes unearthed fragments arranged in patterns, arranged as if for a gathering, a feast, or some vanished ritual. With each fragment, curiosity grew, though most still clung to the belief that such artistry was isolated, the residue of scattered tribes, not a grand civilization lost to time. Unfolding beneath the endless rain and the weight of green, these earthworks held their stories quietly in the soil. Ditches wrapped in circles or squares, causeways tracing through flooded basins, all hinted at planned designs. Each one was a puzzle piece, obscured by centuries of roots and rot. To truly see them, explorers would need to listen to more than just what lay in plain sight. They had to trust the land's faint memories. The explorers, tired and wary, sometimes paused at the sites where forests seemed thinner. They described strange silences in a prickle of awe, as if the trees themselves remembered the footsteps of those who built and gathered beneath their shade. Still, their official reports erased most of these details, reducing grand remnants to curiosities, losses on the margins of their maps and the boundaries of their imagination. Beneath the relentless canopy, suspicion and myth tangled. Indigenous memory reverberated through songs and stories, guiding curious listeners toward mounds and middens that endured despite the forest's hunger. But these voices held little power in a world shaped by outside logic, and so, for generations, the deeper truths of the Amazon slumbered under green shadows, waiting for the moment when someone would ask what really lies beneath the leaves. Chapter 3. The Puzzle of Amazonian Soil. In the heart of the Amazon rainforest, a mystery lingers beneath the dense canopy. Here, scattered widely, lies an unusual black earth known as Terra preta. This rich, dark soil whispers of secrets long buried. Scientists and explorers alike have puzzled over its origins, intrigued by the possibility that it holds clues to a forgotten way of life. Unlike the common soils of the rainforest, which tend to be thin and poor, Terra preta is fertile and deep. Its richness stands in stark contrast, defying what we expect from the jungle. As shovels dig gently into the ground, fragments of ancient pottery, bones and charcoal emerge. Each discovery suggests that this land was carefully shaped by human hands, centuries before modern explorers arrived. Scientists wonder, who were the people that made this extraordinary soil, and why did they go to such lengths? Some propose that Terra preta was born out of necessity. The rainforest's natural earth is not kind to crops, but this black earth nourished plants with a resilience unlike any other. Its presence is a silent signature, a message from the past etched into the land itself. Terra preta is not just soil, it is a testament to ingenuity. Composed of charcoal, animal bones, broken ceramics, and organic matter, it forms through patient, deliberate methods. Ancient people seem to have blended nutrients and biochar, creating a soil that endures for centuries. Unlike ordinary earth, it retains water, resists erosion, and teems with life, supporting thriving crops where only sparse growth once stood. The most astonishing detail is its vast extent. Patches of Terra preta spread across the Amazon like islands of abundance, sometimes covering entire fields. Some of these fertile areas stretch for miles, indicating that generations of people transformed the land on a grand scale. It offers tantalizing evidence that the dense forest we see today once held flourishing villages, gardens, and bustling communities. Archaeologists collect soil samples with careful hands, seeking answers in the soil's unique chemistry. The presence of charred organic material suggests controlled fires, perhaps a deliberate tactic for renewal. Whenever the ancient fires cooled, the land was left richer and more vibrant than before. In every handful of black earth, the scientists see echoes of ancient rituals, daily labor, and careful knowledge passed down through time. This human-made earth challenges earlier assumptions about the Amazon's history. For a long time, outsiders believed the forest was wild and untouched, but Terra preta hints at a landscape shaped and sustained by ancient societies. The rainforest may have been a patchwork of cultivated fields and settlements rather than an endless wilderness. Each patch of black earth stands as a monument to their forgotten expertise. The puzzle deepens with every discovery. How did these ancient people learn to modify the soil so skillfully? Their methods remain a mystery, lost with the passage of time. Yet the evidence left behind suggests experimentation, adaptation, and deep understanding of the natural cycles. By improving the land, they made it their own, blending with the forest rather than conquering it, an approach that modern science still seeks to understand. Stories passed by local communities speak of the old ones who knew the secrets of the earth. Some say the spirits of the forest taught these skills, or that wisdom travelled from one settlement to another. These tales, layered with myth and memory, add to the enigma of Terra preta. Was it a communal knowledge, or closely guarded by only a few? The true origins remain tantalizingly out of reach. As we look upon the dark earth today, we witness a living legacy. The fertile soil endures, still nourishing plants centuries after its creation. It is a tangible link to the people who once called the Amazon home a faint but stubborn echo of agricultural mastery. Terra preta puzzles scientists even now, encouraging us to look beyond the surface and imagine the hidden horizons of lost civilizations deep within the rainforest. Chapter 4. Ghosts in the Landscape. Deep within the Amazon, the canopy conceals secrets that only the sky can reveal. Archaeologists turn their gaze upward, using planes and satellites to peer through the endless green. What they discovered would change our understanding of the forest forever. Faint geometric pattern circles, squares, straight lines emerging like echoes from a forgotten dream, drawn directly into the living earth beneath the trees. These shapes were not mere marks. They formed grand earthworks, some stretching hundreds of meters across, arranged with mathematical precision. Many lie hidden beneath the roots and leaves, while others stand visible where the rainforest has receded. Their size and symmetry hint at a complex design, not random happenstance. Each formation whispers of ancient gatherings, ceremonies, and the organized labor it required to sculpt such visions into hard ground. The circles and squares seen from above often align along straight avenues, sometimes stretching for kilometers. These connections suggest roads or ceremonial paths, intentionally placed in harmonious patterns. As researchers mapped more of these geoglyphs, their vast web began to appear hundreds of sites, spread like constellations across the southern Amazon. It was as if an entire society had impressed its blueprint upon the land itself. What purpose did these colossal signs serve? Some believe they were centers for trade or gatherings, lively with markets and festivals. Others suspect they marked sacred sites, devoted to rituals lost in the mists of time. Their arrangement and scale hint at a deeper logic, a rhythm of life that once pulsed here. The earth remembers where voices once called out and where footsteps wore paths into ancient soil. Archaeologists marveled at how these geoglyphs endured centuries of encroaching forest. Though roots spent decades reclaiming the soil, the boundaries remained stunningly intact, edges crisp, shapes unbroken, even after countless seasons and storms. It was as if the earth itself protected these lines, preserving messages meant for eyes from above, waiting to be seen again under different skies. The sheer scale of these earthworks challenges earlier beliefs that the Amazon was untouched, wilderness inhospitable, unorganized, and lightly populated. Each new site unearthed tells a silent story of vast cooperation, moving and shaping Earth with careful intent. What kind of civilization had the power and vision to transform the land so boldly, and how did they fade so completely into legend? Satellite technology allowed researchers to trace more lines through dense canopy, uncovering networks that suggest planning on an epic scale. These discoveries prompted historians to reconsider everything they thought they knew about the Amazon. Could it truly have been a cradle of civilization, not an isolated frontier? The forest, once only seen as barrier, becomes map and memory. As sunlight drifts over the forest, it catches the shallow ditches and embankments, silent reminders that people once moved with purpose beneath these branches. The patterns are too regular to be accidental, too numerous to be chance. At dawn and dusk, when shadows lengthen, the earthworks seem to glow with the possibility of stories untold, begging to be uncovered piece by piece. To imagine those who built these landscapes is to conjure engineers, leaders, and visionaries. Their names long forgotten, their works lived for centuries of silence. At the heart of every line and angle lies a question. What dreams did these ancient builders have as they marked their shapes into living green? Every earthwork whispers hints, but true answers lie buried in patience and careful study. Today, the ghostly traces of these civilizations are guiding new explorations into the Amazon's past. The geometric patterns, first glimpsed as anomalies in the treetops, now draw scientists, storytellers, and dreamers. As the forest yields its secrets, we are reminded that beneath each leaf and shadow, the echoes of civilization wait. The landscape itself becomes a living archive, haunted by memories waiting to return. Chapter 5. The Builders of the Forest. Step quietly with me into the ancient heart of the Amazon. Here, where the canopy stretches endlessly above, a different world begins to reveal itself. Evidence whispers from the shadows, urging us to see not just untamed nature, but the careful handiwork of those who called this forest home. Listen closely as we imagine daily life blossoming beneath these emerald boughs. In gentle morning light, communities stir along winding riverbanks. Women and men move with intention, tending to gardens patterned with crops unknown elsewhere. The air is filled with the soft sounds of conversation and laughter as they nurture manioc, fruit trees, and medicinal plants. Every action hints at knowledge passed down through generations, a quiet wisdom rooted in deep connection to this land. Children scamper between towering trees, their bare feet barely brushing the loamy earth. They pause to watch elders shape the river's edge, building small channels and raising mounds that control the flow of water. These subtle modifications, woven into the landscape, turn wild land into fertile ground, transforming the forest into a carefully managed garden, rich in life and possibility. As the afternoon sun filters through leaves, families gather to share food and stories. Intricately decorated pottery circles between hands, painted with swirling patterns that echo the rivers, constant motion. Each vessel holds more than just sustenance. It holds memory and meaning, tied to the cycles of the seasons and their ancestors' enduring presence beside the water. Nearby, skilled artisans chip away at stone and wood, crafting tools with expert precision. Their hands move slowly, shaping blades for harvest and ceremonial objects for sacred gatherings. The gentle rhythm of their labor fills the air, a patient heartbeat that ties the community together each creation, a testament to ingenuity and the subtle beauty within everyday acts. Evening approaches, and the forest glows with the golden hush of twilight. People carry baskets brimming with harvested roots and fruits, heads bowed beneath loads that speak of a day's peaceful industry. Smoke curls from small fires, signaling warmth and sustenance, while families settle in, surrounded by the familiar shapes of their homes and the rhythmic chorus of forest life. With darkness falling, elders gather the young close, sharing stories woven from stars and river mist. Their tales describe how the mighty trees sprang from careful planting, and how the land was shaped with gratitude, never greed. In this world, each person belongs not only to their family, but to the great living tapestry of the forest itself. From above, the signs of their presence are almost invisible, yet beneath the canopy, subtle clues remain. Raised fields, ancient pottery shards, and lingering garden beds tell us that the forest's abundance is, in part, a human creation. Through centuries, ancient Amazonians became part of the landscape, blending skill and respect in ways the modern world is just beginning to see. Imagine now the festival nights, the air pulsing with gentle drumbeats and laughter drifting over dark water. Light from handmade torches flickers on painted faces as communities dance beneath the stars. These gatherings reinforce bonds not just among people, but with the land and all the unseen spirits dwelling within, a reminder of harmony possible between humans and the wild. As dawn approaches, the ancient world whispers its secrets through dew-covered leaves and bird calls. The memory of the builders of the forest lingers everywhere, from crafted pots to fertile gardens, from riverbanks shaped by careful hands to the legacy of wisdom held by those who loved this land. Their story endures, quietly growing beneath the rich green shadow of the Amazon. Chapter 6. Legends carved in clay. In the hush of early morning, sunlight spills across what appear to be fragments of ancient earth. These are pottery shards, their surfaces etched with elegant lines. Animals racing, birds in flight, spirals winding in silent stories. Each fragment, shaped by careful hands, carries with it the weight of centuries, the whispers of a people who once thrived amidst the dense green mystery of the Amazon. Some of these shards are painted in ochre and charcoal, colours drawn from the land and riverbanks themselves. The motifs tell of the animals that filled ancient days, jaguars prowling through shade, capybaras slipping into river shallows, and birds whose songs once echoed between endless green. Holding these relics, you may sense the pulse of distant lives echoes of artists who saw their world as both home and legend. Fingers trail over the rough ceramic, feeling a groove where a jaguar's claw was once etched. Archaeologists speculate on the makers, their hands steady by flickering firelight, intent on capturing the wild beauty around them. Each image is more than decoration, it's a message across generations. The clay whispers of triumphs and dangers, rituals and hunts, daily life and dreams spun in the heart of the forest. Beyond the pottery, oral histories offer bridges to the past. Passed from elder to youth in quiet circles, stories describe great ancestors builders who raised earthen platforms, tended gardens, and summoned trees from seed. Some speak of leaders with wisdom as deep as the river, and others of trickster spirits that shaped the world in laughter and chaos. These tales linger long after the speakers have gone. In the shade of towering cedars, families gather for stories at dusk. Children listen wide-eyed as elders recount how their ancestors shaped the land-lifting soil, weaving baskets, tracing the shapes of constellations in the night sky. These narratives are not just memories, they are living maps, guiding each generation through seasons of flood and plenty, loss and renewal. Voices mingle with the rustle of leaves, keeping history alive. As night deepens, the forest seems to bend closer, holding its own secrets. Somewhere, an old pot is uncovered, its broken rim carrying scenes of a great gathering figures arm in arm, surrounding a swirling river. Pottery like this hints at moments of festival or ritual, captured forever in fragile lines. Each discovery offers a small window into the joys, fears, and mysteries that once danced by Amazonian firelight. These artifacts, humble and weathered, reveal how stories endure when stone and bone have crumbled. Pottery survives the centuries, speaking in symbols rather than words. Their creators etched hearts, hands, and dreams into clay signs that ordinary life was worth remembering. Through these motifs, we glimpse sacred animals, kin groups, and visions of what lay beyond the visible each piece, a doorway to forgotten minds. Oral histories offer details no artifact can hold. Names of chiefs lost to time, legends of bridges made from living vines, whispered warnings about river spirits. Elders recall the way their ancestors read the stars to guide their journeys, or healed with plants now nearly vanished. Just as pottery fragments fit together to form a vessel, these stories join to piece together a vanished civilization. Archaeologists listen closely when these stories are told, moving beyond stone to the living tradition of memory. Pot shards, animal motifs, and ancestral tales entwine, revealing much more than the remains themselves. Through both objects and voices, a civilization emerges that shaped the Amazon, guided by wisdom and wonder, creativity and care, each piece illuminating what history almost let slip away. As you imagine those vanished days, pottery shards in palm and stories on the wind, consider how lives once braided with rivers and forest trails. Though the builders of the earthworks are mostly forgotten by name, their legends endure carved in clay, carried in voice, forever echoing through the lush green silence. In each artifact and every tale, the spirit of the Amazon's ancient people continues to whisper, waiting to be heard anew. Chapter 7. Shaping the Wild. Deep within the emerald shadows of the Amazon, ancient hands touched the land with quiet intention. What we see as untouched wilderness was, in truth, carefully shaped by minds who understood the forest's rhythms. These early engineers guided which trees flourished, how wildlife moved, and even where rivers curled. In this gentle shaping, they found harmony, reminding us that civilization and wildness can sometimes move as oneness can sometimes move as one. Under the towering canopy, every tree tells a story. Some stand in patterns too purposeful to be nature's own. Chestnuts, Brazil nuts and palms grow where ancestral people once gathered, planted, and tended their abundance. The forest's variety is not an accident, but a living legacy, a silent memory of those who softened soil, collected seeds, and watched seedlings find their way to the sun. Their influence remains woven into the heart of the green expanse. Archaeologists now find clues clusters of certain trees, ancient earthworks, changes in animal populations that whisper of deliberate design. These societies sculpted their world with a gentle hand, encouraging the Amazon's richness while maintaining its wild soul. The lines between forest and garden blurred. The land was not conquered, but guided, so that humans and nature could flourish together in a delicate, lasting balance. This dance of co-creation brought forth a biodiversity seldom seen elsewhere. By boosting edible and useful plants, people invited birds, monkeys, and insects to thrive in new ways. The woods became a living archive of memory and sustenance. Each wanderer through the forest walked a path reshaped by those who came before, a trail marked by intention, patience, and deep respect for the cycles of life and renewal. Ancient knowledge persisted quietly, hidden beneath leaves and soil. Wisdom passed from parent to child, how to coax the best from the forest without taking too much, how each tree, vine, and fruit had a place, a role. Over centuries, this subtle stewardship transformed the Amazon into a patchwork of abundance and Mysterian ecosystem crafted by unseen hands, guided by a kind of science born from observation and awe. What appears wild is, in truth, a living partnership. Today, scientists still marvel at the presence of trees growing far from their natural ranges, thriving thanks to forgotten gardeners. The fingerprints of these vanished societies are everywhere, if one learns to see FEMA, reminder that human legacy can be gentle, creative, and deeply intertwined with the fate of nature itself. We often imagine ancient people as mere survivors, but here they were stewards and visionaries. Their relationship with the forest ran deeper than utility. In managing landscapes, they honored an understanding that thriving means giving as well as taking. The Amazon's shape, richness, and unfolding beauty owe much to this philosophy of career legacy, etched quietly into the living earth and reaching into our own time. Standing among the trees, one can almost feel the presence of those who once walked here. Their choices echo in the rustle of leaves and the call of distant birds. Cultivation and wildness became indistinguishable ere. Tapestry woven from patience, experimentation, and humility before the vastness of nature. To marvel at this harmony is to glimpse a different vision of civilization, not as conqueror, but as quiet partner to the wild. The science of forest engineering teaches us something profound about legacy. Not all marks left by humanity are scars. Some are songs written in roots and seeds that continue to nourish long after their authors have vanished. The Amazon's abundance stands as a testament to Korean invitation to imagine new ways of belonging, where people fit gracefully within the living world, shaping it not with force, but with reverence. So, as sunlight filters through tangled branches, remember that every wild place may hold traces of ancient partnership. The Amazon endures today not only through nature's power, but also through the subtle genius of those who shaped it with gentle hands. In their quiet awe and attentive presence, we find inspiration and perhaps a path forward, where the future of the forest depends once more on mutual respect between people and the untamed green. Chapter 8. The Great Silence. The arrival of Europeans brought more than curiosity and hunger for new lands. It brought invisible invaders' diseases the ancient societies had never known. In days and weeks, entire communities began to falter. The voices that once sang in the plazas, the laughter echoing above the canopy, all slowly faded. The great cities fell into hush, as if the forest itself held its breath, sensing a profound change. Silent waves of sickness swept over the villages, carried from distant shores. Healers tried their best, blending ancient remedies with hope, but they could not fight the new illnesses. Houses emptied, markets vanished, and fields returned to wild growth. The ceremonies shared through generations were interrupted, and with each passing season, fewer remained to remember the old ways. The quiet deepened, settling over the once bustling hearts of the Amazon. The jungle responded in its own timeless rhythm. Vines crept over abandoned plazas, roots pressed through crumbling stone, and giant trees rose where homes once stood. Day after day, green shadows grew thicker, shrouding the monuments of forgotten lives. The forest, always patient, reclaimed the ground. Where the sound of drums and song had once guided the dusk, now only the calls of distant birds remained, echoing through silent ruins. Stories, once passed from elder to child around flickering fires, grew fragmentary. Whole histories, families, inventions, celebrations vanished from memory. In some places, a lone survivor carried a word, a recipe, or a tale. But soon, much of what had been known was lost to the relentless flow of time. The silence was not just the absence of voices, it was the loss of wisdom, the unravelling of a tapestry woven over centuries. Among the shadows, nature's whispers replaced human ones. Cicadas crooned where children had played. The river's current flowed unchallenged, weaving slowly through the deserted earthworks. Occasionally, a flint blade or a pottery shard peeked from the moss, hints of life swallowed by the elements. These remnants, small and silent, awaited rediscovery, holding the last echoes of hands that had shaped them in ages past. Some say the jungle protects its secrets. Hidden beneath the dense canopy, the outlines of lost cities patiently endured. The earthworks became gentle mounds, and the roads faded into leafy corridors. Explorers, centuries later, would stumble upon geometric patterns revealed only when trees fell or rivers shifted. Even then, most would walk past, unaware of the worlds buried just beneath the undergrowth. Time pressed onward, making legends grow ever fainter. The names of the builders became a mystery, spiraling into myth. What stories might the stones have told, if only they could speak? The silence deepened, and the knowledge once striving among generations became scattered threads. Yet, amid this loss, the land quietly waited, keeping fragments of its past in shadows and roots, patient as the seasons circled again and again. Curiosity would eventually stir in distant minds. Long after the first silence settled, explorers returned to the Amazon. Their tools rustled through undergrowth, seeking evidence of what once was. Sometimes they found vague clousé pattern on the forest floor, or unusual soils hinting at gardens now overrun by wilderness. These quiet discoveries whispered that life here had once been extraordinary, and that the hush was only surface deep. In the end, the Great Silence became a part of the land's story itself. The Amazon, ever mysterious, sheltered the traces of its vanished people. For centuries, travellers would see only the endless green, unaware of the worlds lying underneath. Yet even as knowledge disappeared and voices faded, the spirit of those lost civilizations lingered, woven into the roots and rain, waiting for someone to listen once more. Perhaps silence is not the end, but a passage. As new generations begin unearthing these forgotten tales, the pause of centuries breaks gently. With each discovery, the jungle offers back a thread, a clue, a chance to remember. The Great Silence teaches us that even in absence, history endures. It waits in moss and shadow, inviting us to rediscover the wisdom and wonder once alive beneath the ancient Amazon canopy. Chapter 9. Rediscovering the Lost World. Guided by the wisdom of indigenous peoples and the curiosity of modern science, a new era of discovery unfolds in the Amazon. Archaeologists walk ancient trails with local guides, their footsteps stirring legends not told for centuries. Each expedition is accompanied by hushed awe, as old myths seem to awaken beneath the canopy, blurring the lines between memory and imagination. Laser pulses from LiDAR equipment sweep across the thick jungle, revealing what the eye alone has never seen. Scientists gather around digital maps as the silhouettes of forgotten geometric earthworks emerge like ghosts from the forest floor. Every blink of data uncovers earth mounds, roads and canals, remnants of sophisticated cityscapes that quietly rewrite our understanding of the Amazon's past. Modern archaeologists work hand in hand with indigenous guides, merging technology with traditional knowledge. The elder stories lead researchers precisely to where ancient pottery fragments surface or stone causeways appear beneath tangled roots. This partnership brings new respect for oral histories long dismissed as legend, showing that science and ancestral memory can illuminate the same hidden world. With every spade of earth turned, the forest yields traces of life that hint at sprawling civilizations. Pottery shards and charred earth, traces of communal feasts and long-lost ceremonies, are delicately cleaned and catalogued. Scientists feel the weight of each artifact, aware that these objects once carried the hopes and rituals of a people whose shadows have stretched through centuries. The myths of the Amazon were once dismissed as mere stories, but new findings invite a second look. Tales of vast cities and ancient roadways nearly lost to time now echo louder with each discovery. The forest, once thought impenetrable and empty, is revealed as layered with stories, its silence hiding the stir of ancient laughter and footsteps beneath the moss and soil. Some discoveries are accidental routes, rise in a storm and expose centuries-old ceramics. Erosion reveals low, grassy ridges tracing mysterious patterns. These moments come unexpectedly, but resonate deeply, reminding each explorer that the forest still holds countless secrets. Every find is a piece of a puzzle, raising new questions about who lived and dreamed here long ago. As researchers unearth the remains of houses, gardens, and raised causeways, they realize how thoughtfully the landscape was shaped. Ancient engineers seem to understand the rhythms of water and soil, creating systems that harmonized with the rainforest instead of conquering it. Their ingenuity whispers through the roots and rivers, inviting modern minds to listen and learn from forgotten practices. The sense of wonder grows as lost cities materialize on screens and in soil. Scientists and storytellers alike marvel at how closely these discoveries mirror the old tales told by indigenous elders. This convergence of past and present, legend and laser scan, reminds us that wonder lies not only in what is found, but in all that is yet to be explored. Even as the forest reveals its secrets, new mysteries arise. What happened to these great societies? Where did their people go? And how did their knowledge shape the Amazon we see today? Each revelation is both an answer and an invitation to deeper questions, urging explorers to search further along ancient pathways shrouded with vines and time. In this ongoing search, awe becomes a companion to every explorer. The collaboration between modern science and indigenous wisdom sparks not just discoveries, but a sense of connection with humanity's deeper roots. The lost world of the Amazon comes alive again, not only through the artifacts and earthworks uncovered, but through the reverence and curiosity that these ancient civilizations continue to inspire. Chapter 10. Reflections Among Giants. Beneath the emerald canopy of the Amazon, ancient trees stand as silent witnesses to centuries of hidden stories. Here, in the shadows of these giants, echoes of forgotten civilizations linger, woven softly within the roots and leaves. The rainforest's quiet pulse invites us to pause, to breathe deeply, and to listen for the wisdom whispered by both nature and history. In this tranquil finale, we reflect on the resilience of people who once thrived where only the forest remains today. Their ingenuity etched in earthworks and lost cities persists through the living green landscape. The Amazon's enduring mystery reminds us that great societies may rise, fall, and yet leave an indelible mark, shaping the land and the myths that follow centuries later. Beneath the dense foliage, the rainforest's timelessness becomes a gentle comfort, urging us to slow down and honor the presence of both past and present. Each ancient tree embodies the intertwined fates of people and nature, their lives and dreams rooted deeply together. This symbiotic resilience whispers a promise that what is truly remarkable can never be forgotten, only rediscovered. With each breath, the Amazon teaches us patience. Civilizations flourished here long before modern memory, adapting to the river's rhythms and cycles of abundance and challenge. Their mysterious legacies remain hidden in the soft earth and winding waterways. As you listen, let awe and gratitude guide you, as if you too walk among these venerable giants beneath the endless green sky. The lessons of the lost Amazonians persist like morning mist over the canopy. Their intricate networks, roads, gardens, and villages remind us that what endures is not always seen at first glance. The forest conceals stories of cooperation, adaptation, and reverence for balance. Let this timeless wisdom settle around you, bringing peace and wonder as the day gives way to night. Imagine the ancient ones looking up into this same green expanse, dreaming of futures woven with hope. Their resilience shaped the Amazon, and their spirit endures in every rustle of leaves. As dusk deepens, their silent stories beckon us to reflect on our own place in time. How every life becomes part of a greater tapestry, bound by respect for the earth and its mysteries. Now, as the rainforest quiets beneath the weight of twilight, let memories of forgotten cities and lost souls stir gently within you. The enduring forest canopy above holds their secrets, nurturing them in the dark soil below. In this moment of reflection, feel your own roots drawing nourishment from the timeless wisdom that nature and history have woven together over countless generations. We are all guests in the shadow of these ancient trees. Through their silent guidance, the Amazon asks us to remember, greatness is measured not only in monuments or wealth, but in our stewardship of the living world. The story of these lost civilizations offers a lesson of humility and hopea, gentle invitation to honor what endures and to care for what remains. Let the gentle chorus of rainforest life surround you, a lullaby echoing from age-old roots to emerald crowns. In this sacred hush, every moment is steeped in meaning. The civilizations of the Amazon may have faded from sight, but their resilience and wonder whisper through the ages. Rest deeply, cradled by the wisdom of giants, and awaken with a renewed sense of awe for the world. As our journey closes, let the spirit of the Amazon linger with you. Beneath towering trees, mysteries endure patient, timeless, and quietly powerful. May the lessons of lost civilizations nurture your curiosity and courage. And as you drift toward dreams, remember, the stories of the past are never truly lost. They live on in the leaves, in the soil, and in our hearts.